Okay, to try again, Comrade Eniwake Orogun is our guest this time, and there you can see him. He's President, Isoko National Youth Assembly Worldwide. First of all, a fine morning to you, Comrade Eniwake Orogun.
Good morning, and thank you for having me with you today.
It's our pleasure. We wanted to talk about Delta politics, and looking at your title, you're president of the Isoko National Youth Assembly Worldwide. Maybe the question I should ask is, to what extent is the youth in Delta State involved in its politics? Are you satisfied? Is it a satisfactory state, or are you looking for a higher level of involvement? Or just talk to me about the youth involvement in politics in Delta.
Thank you once again for having me. Like you rightly introduced, I'm the president of the Isoko National Youth Assembly Worldwide, and also the Secretary General, Niger Delta Ethnic Nationality Youth Leaders Forum.
Okay.
We have the chairman as the president of the IYC, Sir Jonathan Lopo Jr. Delta State and its politics. Like you know, Delta State is a very interesting state with a lot of complexity and so many political moves and politicking. Now, since the coming in of this administration, the Governor Sheriff's Oborori administration, we have literally seen more youths being involved. From the beginning, during his campaign, he said that it was youth o'clock, and so he was going to be relying more on the youth for the success of his administration. And up to this moment, he has lived up to that billing, starting from the formation of the State Executive Council, where we have a lot of under 40, under 45 commissioners, and not just any other ministry, but some high-priced ministry, like the Ministry of Health. You have Dr. Joseph Onojame, a young guy. You go to Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Youth, and so many other ministries, and young people handling some key ministries in this administration. Beyond that, there's also been, the platform and the opportunity where we have on one or two occasions had the opportunity to interface and interact and also view the processes of governance in the state with the government. So looking at it, it's one of, I don't think we've had this good as youth and in the various ethnic nationalities in Delta States. The story is the same. The youths have been well involved, at least to this extent. Do we want more? Of course, we always want more. But we are grateful to the governor for what he has done so far.
The youth is, when you think about the youth anywhere in the world, they're supposed to bring on a certain vibrancy. And that is sort of descriptive of the state of their being. Against this backdrop, how much can one expect? Because it is thought that we're conservative people. If you have the youth in a place, whereas it is always desirable, you should be, there are those who say that be prepared for things to be churned up a bit. Is that this feeling in Delta? Or, we also at the same time, we have this sort of respect for our elders as Africans generally. So I'm really asking, do you think the youth will be able to be true to themselves, or might the cultural thing about deference to our elders in Africa and in Nigeria, do you think it could affect anything?
The first thing is our culture defines us as a people. That is why we are Nigerians, we are Africans. Much as we would, we want to flow with the global pace and the global stage, we will not remove our culture of respect for elders. we will not throw it under the bus. However, it does not stop us from airing our views. It does not stop us from getting involved in any way we want to get involved. It does not stop us from confronting the status quo. Like I have said in different occasions, you can be polite or very firm. Our resolutions and our firmness in certain policies where we may differ with the governor or the government, even though we've not really had so much to differ. Of course, it has nothing to do with the age, because it is about the survival of a group. It's about the survival of our states, and it's about having a voice and being heard. And like you know, in the political space, power or attention is not served as an a la carte. It is usually you put yourself in there, you force yourself your way in there. However, in doing so, we do not destroy the very fabric of our cultural heritage, which is respect for elders.
Okay.
Even though sometimes, yeah, go ahead. I'm with you.
Okay. It did appear to get a bit choppy in there, but can you hear me? Can you hear me still?
Very well, very clearly.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
okay.
I heard that. So there's a sense in which much of the credit for the situation that you have expressed a sort of satisfaction with in terms of the mix between the different people in governance over there. Governor Sheriff Oboroway, you know, much credit goes to him for him being so minded. I mean, he wasn't arm-twisted or anything. So is there a sense in which he's a progressive governor in that sense? And Delta State is enjoying the benefits of this?
I beg your pardon, you may have to come again so that I get it clearly. I didn't get the question clearly.
I was thinking that from what you said and also what is on ground, Governor Sheriff Oboroway, much credit goes to him for he wasn't forced into these choices. So it seems that his thinking is, you know, quite vibrant on the youthful side. He does not disdain the youth or have any problems against them. Those that are competent will be, you know, taken on and for the benefit of the state. I was wondering if you also saw it like that, that much credit goes to the governor.
Certainly. He's at liberty to appoint whoever he wants to appoint or to relate with whoever he wants to relate. But if he now considers the youth of his own volition without pressure, at least as at now, we are getting this much credit should go to him. You know, during the election, during the electionary processes, Governor Sheriff depended so much on the youths to deliver him. Okay. And in each of the campaigns and all of that he went to, even to us, he also, you see, it's the same thing everywhere, right? Currently, I think across the Niger Delta, we're having all of these interesting engagements of the youth. Maybe it's really youth o'clock across the Niger Delta because just, you know, like I introduced myself, I'm also the Secretary General of the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationality Youth Leaders Forum. And so even at when you call the provincial headquarters of the Niger Delta, which has to do with the NDDC, we also have another youth there, a youth-friendly MD there, who has also in the last few months or years that has been there, has also been engaging the youth very hard. So very, very well. So you want to say that we at the youth level across the Niger Delta, we are literally enjoying some moments of expression, and these are opportunities that we do not take lightly. Like I was saying about Dr. Ogugu, Samuel Ogugu. I have been in the youth space in the last couple of years, and we have, even though not as president, I've served as spokesperson and all of that. And we've, on many occasions, tried to engage the NDDC. Many times you find that the board and even the management, they seem to be very evasive. From Delta State down to the NDC, every day, every moment is one engagement of the youth or the other, contributing their quota to the development of our state and our region. So I think the youths were having it, were having a good time this period. So, and these things they are doing without without any coercion. Even though, like you know, in the Niger Delta, we have the capacity, we have the strength, we have the energy, the wherewithal to create and to force any government to get us engaged. We have not used those powers now, in quotes, and we are getting it. And we expect that we may not have cause to go in that direction in the nearest future. So currently, of their own volition, we're enjoying all of these things right now. And so we'll give them credit. I naturally give them credit for it. Governor and, of course, the MD of NDDC. And just to add, now, I'm not doing any advert for them, but just recently, since yesterday to date, my phone has been buzzing. A lot of people have been reaching out to us about the stipends that, which was promised, sometime last year, that was to be paid to youth, 10,000 youths across the Niger Delta states. Those in Isoko, they have been receiving since yesterday, and the calls have been coming. So the youth were having a fun day, were having a fun period, both in the state and at the regional level currently.
It sounds great. I mean, it really does. In that sense, in the sense in which you're talking of now, would you say that Delta State is leading the way, and this is something that should spread, where without prejudice, let the youth present themselves for elections and, on the political side, because this is the way. Africa has this reputation, and perhaps in Nigeria, although there are exceptions for, yes, those that have paid their dues, the elderly, those that have paid their dues, sort of reserving a right. But maybe this is the way to go. Would you say Delta State is leading the way in this regard?
Certainly. Delta, you see, when you look at from the last election, from both parties, whether it's APC or PDP, and you look at the primaries, you find that you just have this sense that it's getting closer and closer for the youth to take over fully. For instance, in the APC, we had a young man who was the deputy to the then aspirant, so it was close. Then you come to the PDP, you find Governor Sharif there, and currently the involvement of youths in his government. And it's something that gives you this form of hope, this excitement that is getting time for us to take over. The thing I want to say, what has limited the youth,
in closing, because we've run out of time. Carry on, sir. But in closing, make it brief, please.
Okay, in closing, what has limited the youths before now has been the fear of the elders that when we come, we want to wipe up their legacy and we want to chase them out. No, we're coming in to build on what they have established. We're coming on to improve on what we have met. But the times that they've always told us that the future belongs to us, now is the future. We're ready for it. I mean, we didn't go to school for nothing. We didn't learn from them for nothing. So but we're ready to improve and to...
So it's youth o'clock, an interesting expression that you used earlier. I want to thank you very much, Comrade Eniwake Orogun, President of the Isoko National Youth Assembly worldwide. It's important to stress that, worldwide. I want to thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.